Good morning. Please be seated. Graduates, members of the Board of Trustees, member of the faculty and staff, parents, distinguished guests, family, and friends. It's my pleasure and honor to welcome you to Commencement today, held in the 139th year of the Colorado School of Mines. A special welcome to those who are watching this live in Bunker Hall down in the Green Center. And we're pleased to have all of you on campus today and hope that you enjoy today's festivities. Today we'll award 222 bachelor's degrees, 167 master's degrees, and 57 PhDs. To begin, I ask you to stand again for the national anthem performed by the Colorado School of Mines Natural Miners, conducted by Dr. Bob Klemick.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated again. Today we recognize the achievement of our mine students. After years of hard work, some more years, some less, you have successfully earned your degrees and are leaving our mines community to continue your grand adventure in the global community. You've probably all taken a moment to look through your commencement program to find your name or your son or daughter's name. And you've probably noticed that our mines community truly is worldwide, with students hailing from Golden to Ghana. Here on our stage behind me, you see 30 flags representing the home countries of our graduating students. Graduates, on your first day of class, you joined our mines family. And today we celebrate the success of our family members from all over the world. I'd also like to take a moment to acknowledge those students who are graduating with distinction. In your programs, you will see the names of students who have won awards and who are graduating with double degrees and honors. And you will see students today wearing cords to designate academic honors and scholarship. To all those students graduating with distinction, please stand and be recognized by your peers and family. Now I'd like to introduce our student speaker, Kirsten Reed. Kirsten is from right down the road in Castle Rock and has been on both the honor roll and dean's list during her time here at Mines. Today she will graduate with a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering and computer science and will start her new career as an IT application tester and developer for Cigna in January. Please join me in welcoming Kirsten Reed to the stage. Kirsten.
Good Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. I'd like to start out by thanking all of the family members, friends, and faculty for being here, because undoubtedly without your support, many of us would not be here today. So thank you. Next, I'd like to share with you a poem that my father shared with me that offers tremendous wisdom and life lessons for everyone here, graduates and guests alike. Ladies and gentlemen, Desiderata by Max Ehrmann. Desiderata. Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even the dull and ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain and bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself, especially do not feign affection. Neither be critical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here, and whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be. And whatever your labors and aspirations, in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace with your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be careful. Strive to be happy. Max Ehrmann, 1927. And so, graduating class of 2013, there are a few messages in this poem that I would like to emphasize to ensure that you take away today. First, everything in moderation. I know most of us have endured several extremes in our lives. We were probably the top students in high school, have expanded our minds well beyond the abstract, and most of us have been driven to the limits of our intelligence, creativity, and emotion. You guys remember Lon Kappa or Mastering Engineering? I try not to. But even though we may be the best and the brightest, we should be humble and remember everything in a moderate perspective. An example in my life occurred just the other day at the bank, where after I was praised for my engineering prowess, I proceeded to walk into the glass windows, which I thought were sliding doors. Second, be virtuous. There are many persons in the world who strive for high ideals, and we absolutely have the opportunity and the responsibility to do so. Our education is one of our greatest strengths, so never stop learning, always seek to better your mind, and stay caught up in this ever-changing world. Those among us earning a doctoral degree can attest to the value of lifelong learning and the personal commitment to a higher education. Finally, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be. Religion can be the foundation to our spirit and soul, for at the base of any agnosticism is the belief in doing right and finding peace in the universe. Maintain that spirit, the hopes and the beliefs that drive you, and strive to be happy. Once again, I would like to thank all of the guests here today for their attendance at one of the most important days in our lives. And I'd like to extend congratulations and the very best of luck to all my fellow graduates. And thank you for sharing this incredible journey with me.
Thank you, Kirsten. I look forward to conferring your degree later this morning. I had the opportunity to meet Kirsten's mom the other night. She's out there in the audience somewhere. She's the one beaming with pride right now. So congratulations, Kirsten. It's now my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Thomas R. Check. Dr. Check earned a bachelor's degree in chemistry from Grinnell College, where, by the way, he took a chemistry class under a young professor that later came to minds, and we know him as Emeritus Professor Don McEldy. Dr. Check then went on to Berkeley, University of California at Berkeley, where he earned his PhD in chemistry. But for a while, as a boy born and raised in Iowa, young Tom Check was more interested in rocks than chemistry. He was fascinated by fossils, meteor showers, and the structure of minerals. Sounds like he would have been a great fit for the Colorado School of Mines. Nonetheless, that interest in structure and function started Tom down a path that eventually led to the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1989. His discovery that RNA, which along with DNA and proteins constitute the three major macromolecules essential for life, was not just a passive information carrier, but could also stimulate chemical reactions in living cells and had major implications for evolutionary theory. Dr. Check is a distinguished professor and director of the BioFrontiers Institute at the University of Colorado in Boulder, and the former president and a current investigator at the Howard Hughes Medical Institute, the science philanthropy whose mission is to advance biomedical research and science education for the benefit of humanity. We are very pleased and honored to have Dr. Check here today. Please welcome Dr. Tom Check.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, congratulations, graduates. Congratulations, parents as well, who've supported these students through the years here, certainly psychologically, perhaps financially as well. Maybe some of you won't be getting tuition bills in the future. I'm really excited to be here today because, as Bill has mentioned, geology, which is one of many areas of strength here at Mines, was my first passion. As a fourth grader in Champaign, Illinois, geology became my first science after a USGS geologist spoke to our fourth grade class. I'd walk around town with my rock hammer, breaking open every specimen to see what was inside. Then as a middle school student in Iowa City, Iowa, I would knock on the doors of professors at the University of Iowa Geology Department to ask questions about meteorites and minerals. Difficult to believe that those professors took the time to explain crystal space groups to an eighth grader. So it is with this background in geology that I'm going to talk today about an unconformity. I think that many of you are about to experience an unconformity. No, I'm not talking about the great unconformity, hundreds of millions of years of geological strata that are missing here on the Front Range of the Rockies from the 550 million year old Cambrian backwards in time. Instead, I'm talking about an unconformity that you may be experiencing in your life. There you were, graduating from high school, and now in the blink of an eye, you're about to start your career. As you start your job, your memory of your years at Mines may fade. Where are those strata anyway? That's your personal unconformity. But the education and training in science and engineering that you received at Mines are not just a way to land a good job, as important as that is. Your years here are also preparation for you to be a strong citizen in your community, in your kids' schools, and in society. So the title of my talk, We Need More Ore Diggers. We need more ore diggers in the community because the way that a scientist, engineer evaluates a problem is very much needed in politics and community organization and in our schools, but it's rare. Let me give the first example. As a graduate of Mines, you know how to think quantitatively. Most in the community, when they see a bunch of zeros after a number, they blank out. You can help. You know the difference between a million and a billion, and you understand something of statistics. Here's an example. With the completion of the Human Genome Project and the rapidly falling costs of DNA sequencing, it's becoming easier and easier for individuals to get information about their own genetic makeup. Do you have a version of a gene that will predispose you to heart disease or breast cancer or Alzheimer's disease? You may have a friend who freaks out upon hearing that they have a gene that gives them a 300% increased chance of some cancer. How should they act on that information? Well, if it's a difference between a 1 in a million chance and a 3 in a million chance, maybe they should take no action at all. But if it means that a 5% chance for the general population suddenly becomes a 15% chance of the disease for them, it might be time for them to ask what changes in lifestyle or diet or smoking might help. Because your education has included statistics, you can contribute to the community in terms of understanding these complex issues. Second case, as a graduate of Mines, you take evidence-based decision-making for granted. It's the only way to make decisions. But in society as a whole, not so much. In fact, with blogs and online so-called information so dominant, one person's opinion seems to weigh as heavily as the next person's, perhaps more heavily if they say it in a clever or articulate or persistent way. Here's an example: fracking. Half the society seems to think it's all good and half that it's dangerous. But the devil is in the details, and as a scientist, it's not difficult for you to break the problem down into some discrete questions. For example, it seems likely that many different organic additives might be similar effective in fracking fluids, but their associated health concerns could be very different, ranging from benign to toxic. It's not difficult for you to advocate evidence-based decision-making. In other words, there's every reason to believe that scientists and engineers can find ways to simultaneously benefit from the new energy resources that fracking brings, while at the same time preserving the environment. Third case, through your time at Mines, you've been trained to carry a scientist's skepticism into any conversation. What do we know? And what is only a reasonable model? And how can we test our convictions? Here's an example. You see an article on the web entitled, "Goodbye Miami," stating, in quote, "By century's end, rising sea levels due to global warming will turn Miami into an American Atlantis, completely underwater." But your scientific training has taught you to have a healthy skepticism. As soon as anyone says, scientists know that the oceans will rise by 6 feet at the end of this century, your antennae are already perked up. You ask what assumptions were made. What is the range of certainty of each of the parameters that went into these calculations? What is the likelihood that such a long-range extrapolation may be overestimating the problem or maybe underestimating the problem? Maybe Miami's going to be completely underwater in 20 years. You're adding your skeptical voice to such conversations may not always be appreciated. After all, it's more fun to know what's going to happen than to talk in terms of probabilities and uncertainties. But it's important to do so. So as you move on from Mines into your jobs, and for many of you, into a community in Colorado or elsewhere, carry your ore digger skills and values with you. You've learned how to think quantitatively, easy for me to say, and you understand statistics. You demand evidence-based decision-making, and you always ask, what's the data and how good is it, before making a decision. And you embrace a scientist's healthy skepticism about what is really known, what's a reasonable working model, and what is wild conjecture. And if a middle school kid knocks on your door with some questions about rocks, minerals, crystals, or fossils, take a moment to sit down with him or her, because today's kid with a rock hammer may be the ore digger of the future, prepared not only for a good job in engineering or science, but prepared also as an important voice in the community, in the schools, and the nation. Thank you. Sorry about the other 2 hours.
Why don't you stay up here with me just a second? So thank you, Dr. Check. We really appreciate your words today. We hope that you will come and see us more often. That is a short 23 miles from Boulder. And I know our students and faculty are very proud that you could be here, and they would like to honor you. I'd like to invite Mr. James Spanstra, Chairman of the Colorado School of Mines Board of Trustees, to the podium.
Dr. Check, in recognition of your outstanding leadership
in scientific research and education. The trustees of the Colorado School of Mines are proud to award you our honorary degree of Doctor of Engineering. Should I get out my step stool here, Mr. President?
Mr. Spranstra has always noted that in hooding an honorary doctorate, they're always somewhat taller than he is. So.
Thank you, sir.
We'll give you our traditional silver diploma.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
I'll get this out of your way.
So, Chairman Spanstra, I present to the Board of Trustees these senior and graduate students. Each senior has been recommended for graduation by the faculty of the school, and each candidate for an advanced degree has been recommended by the faculty to receive his or her graduate degree. I concur with the faculty, and it is my honor to present these candidates for your acceptance.
President Scoggins, by action of the Board of Trustees of the Colorado School of Mines on December 12, 2013, Mr. President, we don't like to peak too soon. I direct you to award these candidates the degrees which they have earned.
I should now ask our provost, Dr. Terry Parker, to present the candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree. Dr. Parker?
Would today's candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree please rise? Mr. President, with the approval of the faculty, I recommend that these candidates be awarded the respective degrees which they have earned. The candidates who are unable to be present today will be awarded their degrees in absentia. Their names appear in the program.
Upon recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the degree of Bachelor of Science in the designated curriculum with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. I congratulate you on this outstanding accomplishment. Now, if you'd please come forward to receive your diploma, Vice President for Student Life, Dr. Dan Fox, and Dr. Junko Munakata Mar, Associate Professor of Civil and Environmental Engineering, will share the honor of announcing the names of the graduates as they join us on the stage. We will present diplomas by academic department or division, and the graduates will be led to the stage by their department head or division director, who will then convey the diplomas to their students. Dr. Fox?
From the College of Earth Resource Sciences and Engineering, Dr. Ramona M. Graves, Dean. Presented from the Department of Mining Engineering by Dr. Hugh Miller, Department Head, for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Mining Engineering. Taylor Gibbons. Maria Inez Gobitz. Christian Hadley. James Johnson. Timothy Koski. Samuel Levine. Kyle Lindahl. Ann McCall. Presented from the Department of Geology and Geological Engineering by Dr. Paul Santi, Department Head, for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Geological Engineering. Ryan Barbone. Marie Bartles. Adam Cobble. Matthew Cornelison. Andrew Drennan. Andrew Graham. Jenna Lente. Roderick Preston. Jeffrey Randall. Kimberly Regish. Daniel Schur. Justin Wagner. Presented from the Department of Petroleum Engineering by Dr. William Fleckenstein, Department Head, for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Petroleum Engineering. Ali Almaki. Ala Atemo. Daniel Baker. Michael Burgess, Jr. Tyler Denson. Lauren Frank. Kazmir Kadjo. Essam Kamruzaman. Tyler Palmer. Carlos Peralta II. Matthew Snyder. Cedric Cedro. Matthew Spyrick. Presented from the Department of Geophysics by Dr. Terrence K. Young, Department Head, for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Geophysical Engineering. Thomas Blitz. Johannes Dauma. Presented from the Division of Economics and Business by Dr. Roderick G. Eggert, Division Director, for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Economics. Tasha Comstock. Taylor McBain. From the College of Applied Science and Engineering, Dr. Anthony M. Dean, Dean. Presented from the Department of Metallurgical and Materials Engineering by Dr. Stephen Liu, Department Head, for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Metallurgical and Materials Engineering. Megan Archuleta. Jeffrey Bell. Frank Davis. Katie Gillespie. Cheryl Hawk. Kayla Johnson. Josue Mushidi. Raymond Oberbreckling. Wesley Ott. Avdi Tushik Karoum. Paul Wilson. Jing Zhu.
Presented from the Department of Chemical and Biological Engineering by Dr. David W. M. Marr, Department Head, for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Chemical Engineering. Theodore Olzanski. Krista Pekarik. Alec Schultz. Kristen Thompson. For the degree of Bachelor of Science, Chemical and Biochemical Engineering, Bryant Elrick. Jennifer Fantish. Julianne Fantish. Presented from the Department of Chemistry and Geochemistry by Dr. David T. Wu, Department Head, for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Chemistry. Jeffrey Chung. Holly Hutchison. Lauren Levitt. Seamus McMullen. Jack Moore. Nima Sherpa. Amanda Spencer. Presented from the Department of Physics by Dr. Thomas E. Furtak, Department Head, for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Engineering Physics. Zachary Zembauer. From the College of Engineering and Computational Sciences, Dr. Kevin L. Moore, Dean. Presented from the Department of Applied Mathematics and Statistics by Dr. Willie A. Harriman, Department Head, for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Mathematical and Computer Science. Kyle Geiser. Mark Howerton. Jacqueline Simmons. Kyle Wallace. Nicole White. Presented from the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering by Dr. John E. McCrae, Department Head, for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. William Kaut. Elise Madenwald. Philip Wilson. For the degree of Bachelor of Science, Engineering, Civil Specialty, Abdullah Al-Shari. Melissa Ahn. Logan Bell. Anthony Brausch. Joshua Burgess. Ryan Burris. Kylie Fink. Benjamin Fox. Michael Fremming III. Theodore Goodlin. Jonathan Knudsen. Jeffrey Pendleton. Ryan Poindexter. Kanan Reverts. Sherrod Robertson. Matthew Swenson. Kelly Unkrich. For the degree of Bachelor of Science, Engineering, Environmental Specialty, Eric Anderson, also Engineering Civil Specialty. T.R. Berger. James Cochran. Aaron Hammer. Elizabeth Hansing. Eileen Hartsock. Taryn Manta. Jacob Milden. Stephanie Runia. Frank Sosha. Stephen Wilson. Tienda Wu.
Presented from the Department of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science by Dr. Randy L. Hopp, Department Head, for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Electrical Engineering. James Nunley. Timothy Rader. For the degree of Bachelor of Science, Engineering, Electrical Specialty, Jordan Brown. Caitlin Elkinton. Cody Hildebrand. Jirawat Jitsangwan. Kirsten Reed. Eric Roberts. James Trumbull. Nicholas Waskowitz. For the degree of Bachelor of Science, Computer Science, Andrew D. Maria. Zachary Fleischman. Nicola Hetrick. Cameron Kincaid. Kelsey Kopecki. Mark Shivers. Christina Thompson. Lars Wallen. For the degree of Bachelor of Science, Mathematical and Computer Science, Martin Heck. John Kelly. Riley Moses. Andrew Shaw. Craig Soto II. Presented from the Department of Mechanical Engineering by Dr. Gregory Jackson, Department Head, for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Joseph Every. Ivan Commodore. Joshua Kavadich. Jake Krapus. James Nunley. Jacob Roten. Charlie Russell. Kellen Schnell. Leon Tarman.
For the degree of Bachelor of Science, Engineering, Mechanical Specialty, Braden Adams. Theodore Agerton. Eddie Aguirre II. Brian Allen. Stephen Bates. Matthew Bodie. Jesse Brandt. Sean Brown. David Bull. Bryce Bullis. Robin Chaconis. Tyler Cooper. McLean Cowan. Jonathan DeMumbrum. Colin Downs. Drew Duffy. Andrew Epperson. Zachary Erfurt. Cody Gerard. Kelsey Gore. Mark Grubbs Jr. B. Ha. Alexander Headland. Robert Hickam. Bailey Hoover. Christopher Johnson. Brett Kilborn. Timothy Creer. Channing Lee. Christopher Lee. Aaron Leva. Lee Marshall. Matthew McGavin. Benjamin McFeeters. Sean Monk. Lee Mortimer. Alicia Nelson. Douglas Nettles. Paul Northrup. Andrew Osborne. Annalisa Paget Shields. Simon Petty. Andrew Potter. Abigail Rich. Mario Rodriguez. Thomas Sanchez. Aaron Saxon. Sarah Scholes. Ori Secor. Brandon Sheldon. Travis Shelton. Graham Smith. Andrew Steck-Pitu. Dawson Swan. Mary Tebow. William Weiskopf IV. Whitney Welch. Rachel Wickman, also engineering civil specialty. Grant Wozencroft.
I shall now ask Dr. Parker to present the candidates for the professional and master's degrees. Dr. Parker.
Would today's candidates for the professional and master's degrees please rise? Mr. President, with the approval of the faculty, I recommend that the professional, Master of Science, or Master of Engineering degree, as appropriate, be conferred upon these candidates. The candidates who are unable to be present today will be awarded their degree in absentia. Their names appear in the program.
Upon recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the Board of Trustees, I confer upon all those who have been recommended by the faculty the professional master, Master of Science, or Master of Engineering degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. I congratulate you on reaching this significant achievement. So if you would also please come forward to receive your diploma from the Dean of your college. Dr. Thomas Boyd, Associate Provost and Dean of Graduate Studies, will announce the names of the graduates. Dr. Boyd?
From the College of Earth Resource Sciences and Engineering, Dr. Ramona Graves, Dean. In Mining Engineering for the degree Master of Science, Mining and Earth Systems Engineering, Zheng Chen. Chitsong Liu. In Geology and Geological Engineering for the degree Master of Engineering, Geological Engineering, Brett Arpin. For the degree Professional Master, Mineral Exploration, Pamela Lagrava Samorano. In Petroleum Engineering for the degree Master of Engineering, Petroleum Engineering, Chinggis Bopiev. Tamadeo Kola Kayende. Adam Richmond. Brian Yeary. For the degree Master of Science, Petroleum Engineering, Juan Karatu. Brent Johnson. Xiaopeng Li. Li Wei O. Thong Huang. To Shu. In Geophysics for the degree Master of Science, Geophysical Engineering, Imad Achan. For the degree Master of Science, Geophysics, Carla Carvajal Meneses. Luis Martins. Rachel Wolf. In Economics and Business for the degree Master of Science, Engineering and Technology Management, Edward Aponte. Danielle Clark. Chad Crabtree. Mitchell Holstick. Patricia Littman. Marcus Ratoza. Maureen Sullivan. Michael Walls. Andrew White. For the degree Master of Science, Mineral and Energy Economics, Muhammad Akimaya. Jared Allen. Zachary Bogle. Corey Cook. Elio Dean. Matthew Doyle. Christopher Holbrook. Molly Eisen. Andrew Lick. Lisa Martinez Templeton. Thiago Neves de Campos. David Rankin. Austin Ryle. Nicholas Van Gundy. Cho Song John. In Liberal Arts and International Studies for the degree Master of International Political Economy of Resources, Taylor Foster. From the College of Applied Science and Engineering, Dr. Anthony Dean. In Metallurgical and Materials Engineering for the degree Master of Science, Metallurgical and Materials Engineering, Timothy Barlow. Andrea Casillas. Patrick Edwafo. Scott Nelson. Sindhu Thomas. Preston Wolfram. For the degree Master of Engineering, Nuclear Engineering, Saeed Alamari. Ahmed Al-Kabi. For the degree Master of Science, Nuclear Engineering, Gadir Al-Gadiri. Carl Warren. In Chemical and Biological Engineering for the degree Master of Science, Chemical Engineering, Bara Mann. Pascal Meising. Zachary Robertson. Nicholas Rohr. Joanna Silman. In Chemistry and Geochemistry for the degree Master of Science, Chemistry, Samantha Dominguez. Thomas Gately. In Physics for the degree Master of Science, Applied Physics, Duncan McElfresh. From the College of Engineering and Computational Sciences, Dr. Kevin Moore, Dean. In Applied Mathematics and Statistics for the degree Master of Science, Applied Mathematics and Statistics, Lauren John. Master of Science, Mathematical and Computer Sciences, Lindsay Wright. In Civil and Environmental Engineering for the degree Master of Science, Civil and Environmental Engineering, Anna Bogoslavsky. Jared Bray. April Clemenson. Master of Science, Civil and Environmental Engineering, Saeed Abdul Karim. Daniel Heptick. Luke Schweitzer. For the degree Master of Science, Environmental Engineering Science, Ty Bariski. Marissa Capito. Vikesh Desai. Aaron Doyen. Fraser Evans. Alexandra Feitz. Carrie Lee. Patrick Patton. Zachary Stoll. Christopher Trivetti. For the degree Master of Science, Environmental Science and Engineering, Stefan Tonsberg. For the degree Master of Science, Hydrology, James Priestley. In Electrical Engineering and Computer Science for the degree Master of Science, Computer Science, Teresa Davies. Justin Pinkel. Kyle Schultz. For the degree Master of Science, Electrical Engineering, Alexander Resnick. Tyler Scott. For the degree Master of Science, Engineering, Ashley Walker. Jonathan Kintner. For the degree Master of Science, Mathematical and Computer Sciences, Daniel Pasquale. In Mechanical Engineering for the degree Master of Science, Engineering, Eric Charrier. Emily Hendrickson. Rido Huberg. Benjamin Salmon. Stephen Wickstrom. For the degree Master of Science, Mechanical Engineering, Daniel Bittenot. Mark Emdeed. Trenton Greer. Nicholas Lumley.
I should now ask Dr. Parker to present the candidates for the doctoral degrees. Dr. Parker.
Would today's candidates for the degree Doctor of Philosophy please rise? Mr. President, with the approval of the faculty, I recommend that the degree Doctor of Philosophy be conferred upon these candidates. The candidates who are unable to be present today will be awarded their degrees in absentia. Their names appear in the program.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. And congratulations to each of you on this most significant accomplishment. Now, our doctoral candidates were honored this morning in front of their family and friends at a special hooding ceremony where they received their doctoral hoods from their advisors. I now ask that you please come forward for your diploma. Dr. John Pote, Vice President for Research and Technology Transfer, will announce the names of the candidates. Dr. Pote.
In the College of Earth Resource Sciences and Engineering, in Mining Engineering for the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Mining and Earth Systems Engineering, Dr. Dr. Evan Kayas. Dr. Teko Putra. In Geology and Geological Engineering for the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Geochemistry, Dr. Julie Leibold. For the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Geology, Dr. Eric Anderson. Dr. Thomas Heron IV. Dr. Jessica Matthews. Dr. John Woodhead. In Petroleum Engineering for the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Petroleum Engineering, Dr. Perapon Fakshon Roninpon. Dr. Bashak Kurtolu. Dr. Fan Shao. In Geophysics for the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Geophysical Engineering, Dr. Scott Eichhardt. For the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Geophysics, Dr. Filippo Brigini. Dr. Farnash Forgani Arani. Dr. Alan Haas. Dr. Trevor Irons. Dr. Harry Mahardika. Dr. Francesco Peroni. Dr. Paritosh Singh. Dr. Stephen Smith. Dr. Aaron Wandler. In Economics and Business for the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Mineral and Energy Economics, Dr. Donal O'Sullivan. In the College of Applied Science and Engineering in Metallurgical and Materials Engineering for the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Materials Science, Dr. Abbas Ibn Azir. Dr. Jacob Nectarline. Dr. Melissa Teague. For the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Metallurgical and Materials Engineering, Dr. Grant Hudish. Dr. Gregory Lenhoff. In Chemical and Biological Engineering Department for the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Chemical Engineering, Dr. Nathan Crawford. Dr. Renfeng Hu. Dr. Eric Oseki. Dr. Ishan Rao. In Chemistry and Geochemistry for the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Applied Chemistry, Dr. Robert Reed. For the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Materials Science, Dr. Christopher Cadigan. In Physics Department, for the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Applied Physics, Dr. Nathan Greeny. Dr. Robert Larson. Dr. Rezwanur Rahman. Dr. Tori Semai. Dr. Alexei Yufa. For the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Nuclear Engineering, Dr. Michael Worrell. In the College of Engineering and Computational Sciences and Civil and Environmental Engineering, for the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Civil and Environmental Engineering, Dr. Lee Elliott. For the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Engineering, Civil Specialty, Dr. Abdul Hadi Al-Marabat. Dr. Otman Elgadi. Dr. Jampol Paiboon. For the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Hydrology, Dr. Jennifer Guelfo. For the degree Electrical Engineering and Computer Science Department, for the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering, Dr. Tarek Masad. For the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Engineering, Electrical Specialty, Dr. Na Wong. For the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Mathematical and Computer Sciences, Dr. Kerry Stone. In Mechanical Engineering, for the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Materials Science, Dr. Anthony Manabino. Dr. Badri Narayanan. In addition, 9 candidates have completed all of the requirements for the doctoral degree, but are unable to attend this ceremony.
The Colorado School of Mines was one of the first 4 colleges in the United States to establish a Reserves Officer Training Corps, or ROTC program. I'm honored to present Colonel Bradley Thompson, United States Air Force, who will introduce the graduates who earned commissions in the United States Air Force during the course of their studies. Colonel Thompson.
Good morning. It's both an honor and a privilege for me to recognize 8 individuals and share in this truly wonderful occasion as they take their next step into becoming second lieutenants in the United States military. This term, 1 Colorado School of Mine graduate will be commissioned in the United States Air Force, and 7 other Colorado School of Mine graduates will be commissioned in the United States Army. I wish to extend our sincere appreciation to the cadets' parents and families for the support and encouragement you've provided while your students studied at this prestigious university. And our thanks also goes out to the faculty and staff of the Colorado School of Mines for the mentorship and guidance you provided as these students pursued a commission while earning their undergraduate degrees from the College of Applied Sciences and Engineering, College of Earth Resources Sciences and Engineering, and the College of Engineering and Computational Sciences. These exceptionally professional students embody the concept of selfless service because they have chosen the path to serve something greater than themselves. Each has elected to serve our nation, to stand watch as guardians of our freedom and liberty. Cadets, as I announce your name, please stand and remain standing until I have announced all names. And ladies and gentlemen, I would also ask if you'd be so kind to hold your applause until each cadet has been introduced. Cadet Logan Bell has been assigned to the Army Engineer Corps. Cadet Benjamin Fox has been assigned to the 25th Air Support Operations Squadron at Wheeler Army Airfield, Hawaii. Cadet Katie Gillespie has branched Army National Guard, 212th Engineer Company in Camden, Tennessee. Cadet Seamus McMullen will report to the Army Chemical Corps. Cadets Anthony Brausch, Ivan Commodore, and Jacob Meldon will report to the United States Army Reserve's Engineer Corps. And finally, Cadet Mitchell Holstich will report to the Quartermaster Corps of the Army. Congratulations to you all, and best wishes.
Thank you, Colonel Thompson. Our first graduating class was commissioned in 1921, and we are honored to celebrate our 92nd anniversary of graduating exceptional students into military leadership positions. Our faculty play the most important role in any graduate's education, so it is appropriate that we honor them at commencement. Today, we are joined by one of our retiring faculty who has the distinction of being awarded emeritus status by the Mines Board of Trustees. Please welcome Dr. Robert Connect to the podium. Dr. Connect. Dr. Connect joined the Mines faculty in 1978 after receiving his bachelor's degree in metallurgical engineering and his master's degree and PhD in chemical and petroleum refining engineering, all from the Colorado School of Mines. Dr. Connect created the first design project-based course at Mines and served as director of our EPICS program, which is known as the Design of the Engineering Practices Introductory Course Sequence. And this provided and introduced our students to the rigors of collaboration within a multidisciplinary team. As an aside, I personally know that Dr. Connect has witnessed some successes and many failures of cardboard canoes attempting to float down the cold waters of Clear Creek during our annual E-Days competition. I hope we can continue to count on your expert experience in this regard in the years ahead. I'm pleased to honor Dr. Connect with the new title of Emeritus Professor of EPICS. Congratulations, Dr. Connect. Step over here. We're so fortunate to have so many talented people here at Mines. I'd like to thank all the Colorado School of Mines faculty, administrative faculty, and staff who work together in support of our mission, our students, and our community. So would all those please stand so that we can thank you for all that you do to make Mines such an exceptional institution. Graduates, today you leave Mines as the beneficiaries of a world-class education, one that has prepared you well for what comes next. You have graduated from one of the most rigorous engineering and applied sciences universities in the world. I hope you take great pride and joy in this accomplishment. Your Mines education has given you the means to not only solve problems, but to innovate. You are the next generation of doers, dreamers, and makers. You came here from every point on the globe to learn, build, and create together. You found common opportunity here, and that gives me great hope for our global future. Yesterday, you were members of a select group, students of the Colorado School of Mines. Today, you are members of a very loyal and valuable group, the Colorado School of Mines alumni. And I want you to know that around the globe, you'll find other Mines alumni who know what you are made of. In your honor, the Colorado School of Mines natural miners will now perform the Mines alma mater.
Raise your voices and join ears, your devotion sing. To the greatest school of mines, let the chorus ring. Hail to thee, CSM, to our hearts most dear. Every miner lauds thy name, and every engineer. Honor, glory to thy name, these we pledge anew. While we live to sing thy fame, alma mater true. Hail to thee, School of Mines, silver and the blue. Every miner sings thy praise, O alma mater true.
Thank you, natural miners and Dr. Bob Clement. Ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude this ceremony, we want to thank you again for being here today. We want to thank once again Dr. Tom Check for being our keynote speaker at this celebration today. And I hope that you will all join me in celebrating our newest alumni at the reception in the Student Center, the building just north of here. But before we go, I'd like to remind our graduates that ultimately, life is an adventure fueled by curiosity. As Walt Disney said, we keep moving forward, opening new doors and doing new things because we're curious, and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. Let's give our graduates, as they stand, one more round of applause as they embark on their grand adventure. I ask that the audience remain seated for the recessional and then join us at the reception sponsored by the Mines Alumni Association and Student Life to celebrate these great new alumni. Hope to see you over there. Thank you.